And we're live. Hey friends, do you compare yourself to others? I told you we'd get to this powerful, potent topic in our Energy Mastery Livestream series. Another way that we lose, we drain, we leach, we bleed out our precious life force and power and energy is that negative comparison game. And I'll be the first to admit that I have definitely compared myself to others. And lost a lot of energy in the process. And it feels just like that, low vibe, not trusting oneself, not being in total acceptance and self-love. It's not a good feeling, especially when we're comparing ourselves to everybody around us, social media, TV. I think that we're indoctrinated to do that from the very beginning. It's just, especially I would say little girls. I've seen it start so early with children as well. That indoctrination and programming to compare, and leaving children feeling at that very tender age not enough, that not enoughness, the low self-esteem, low self-worth starts so early. And so I wanted to address this topic in our Energy Mastery series. Do you compare yourself to others? I have been swept up in this from different times and eras of my life. And some of these times have felt like pretty debilitating. I've been hard on myself. Does anybody relate to that? Have you ever, I call it bringing out the hammer, beat yourself up, hard on yourself when you're in that comparison game? And you never know what's going on with someone else's story and what they're projecting, right? We never know. And it just feels like an endless race that one can never win. That's what it feels. It feels futile. Whether it's comparing one's body or finances, so-called success in life, relationships, attainment of family, spouses, maybe certain hobbies or sports, musical talent. And I have found one really great solution to let go of that, release that energy, that loss of energy of comparison game. Hi, Deborah, how are you? Welcome. Say hi, where are you joining? Hello from hot and steamy Wisconsin. Been out walking already. Happy Saturday to you. This is going to be a quickie live. It's so valuable. Share this live because I think a lot of people, I know a lot of people have gotten caught up, swept up innocently since we're children in that comparison game. And it is futile. So what I have discovered, and I'm going to tell you a really good analogy that just, it brings this one home in such an amazing aligned way when you start thinking about comparison. From my own authenticity, I have compared myself, and it's really taken me 48 years to a place where I'm at peace, and I have stopped in that negative comparison game. And I also know what it feels like to have that energy drain, that constant comparison. And instinctively, taught from a very early age, women do it. And there can be some of that catty energy too, jealousy, envy. We talked about that recently too on our Energy Mastery live series. That was a really powerful one. Oh, we know what that feels like. So comparison is like the cousin to jealousy and envy. And what we see projected out in media and advertising, there's a lot of fakeness there. I mean, so much of what we see for someone's success or wealth, health, bodies, is fake, has been completely, it's fake. And now, especially with AI, how do you know what's even real? And so it could be this, like I said, this futile race that one feels like they will never win. And that leaching of our precious life force, which could be used to generate and create such a beautiful existence and projects and business and ways to be of service to our soul family around the world. Like, that is where we want to retain that energy. We want to call it back, reclaim it, because that's how we can utilize ourselves and become more powerful and more powerful creators that we truly are. So we're looking for the holes in the boat. Comparison is one hole in the boat that we leech, we bleed out our life force. We talked about complaining. Ooh, that's a big one. Envy, jealousy, complaining, victimhood, blaming, all of those. There was a couple more in there too. We've had a really good Energy Mastery live series. And I've had a lot of people reach out to me privately and tell me, like, Amie, oh, that just hit the spot. I do that and I don't want to anymore. I want to change. I want to transform my life. I want to retain my precious life force to use it and not feel exhausted all the time. So many people admit to me, I'm tired. I don't have time. I don't have the energy. Don't you want to? There's a cherry on top. Don't you want to? Because you can. When we start fixing the holes in the boat where we're losing, leaching, bleeding out our life force, our energy. So one of them is comparing ourselves, constant comparison. And it's just such a icky feeling to be constantly in that comparison game. And also, it could also lead to judgment of others. We don't know what anybody's situation is. And instead of retaining that life force to ourselves. So what I have discovered, which I'll share with you, has been a huge solution to this, is to reclaim my energy, my life force, and focus it all back on myself. And this is not selfish. It's the best thing we can possibly do for our true selves, is refocus that energy and attention to ourselves and who we are becoming, the best version of self. We've been talking about quantum jumping into the highest version of self, right? Well, we can't do that if we're still living in that old version. Amie over there, the old version was, great, wonderful. Thank you for the journey. Mwah! And it's time to quantum jump to a much higher, better version of self. And so many souls are doing this right now. And it makes me so happy. My heart smiles to see the bravery, the courage it takes. And I'm going to leave this for another day. A lot of souls that are leveling up right now, there'll be some catalysts coming to help force that. And it's, we set it all up. We create it all. It's all serving us. And when you're ditching, you're leaving that old version behind, right? What can happen is, like, your stuff can come up, especially when you're making such a massive leap. And it's anytime, like, we have goals, there's going to be resistance that comes up. It's just natural, right? Your higher self, are you really ready to quantum jump? Are you really ready to change, to transform? Yesterday, my shite came up in a really good way. And I went out walking for like 12 miles, just started walking. And for me, it's movement, releasing. And I did it. And it was just so good that all my stuff came up, because it needs to come up and come out. Let go, release, because that old version, that's done. The line in the sand, I say, burn your boats, right? Why do you think I keep talking about reinvention and quantum jumping into a new version of self? Because so many are doing it right now. And so I will warn you, if this hasn't happened already, there's going to be, I don't want to call it dark night of the soul. It's more like, for me yesterday, it was more of a dark morning of the ego of the old self. And it was perfect. And it was just what it needed to be. I guess I am talking about it now. I'll save it in detail for another day. So, and this it could be some of those, what's not serving us anymore, like the holes in the boat, our energy drainers. We cannot be a victim anymore if we're going to be creating at a high conscious level. That's got to go. That's why I say these foundational elements of what drains our energy has to be addressed and released and healed now, before we can quantum jump and become truly what we're meant to, at a much higher version of self. So that's why I'm just practically, it's all practicality, addressing these sore spots or soft spots, right? That we haven't solved yet, released, solved, healed. And you realize too, and this is another topic of like rumination. There's another one. We'll tackle that topic soon. Another hole in the boat that drains our energy: rumination and overthinking. Isn't this gold? This is gold. This is gems, folks, because we're all going through it. It's so relatable. Overthinking, rumination. That will be a topic for another day. Let's just help me. I'll put that on the shelf for another day. Hello, Sohil. Did I say your name right? Welcome. Namaste to our friends in India and to our friends all over the world. I love to see my friends, my beautiful tribe, beautiful genius masters, and that's how I see you and that I know you, from all over the world join these surprise live streams. So I heard yesterday, I was re-listening to one of my present day teachers. His name is RJ Spina. I couldn't recommend him enough. You can find him on YouTube. I've read all his books multiple times. It takes you to a new level, a massive new quantum shift level. And RJ Spina, I mean, if you resonate with him, I surely do. One of my latest modern day teachers, if you knew who he was, just a few of his ascended master, he's incarnated now, Merlin the Great and Saint Germain, just to name a few. Okay, so this is my current day teacher, and he is amazing. And he's like, we're the same in the fact that we love as storytellers to use metaphors and analogies. It really helps crystallize and illustrate things in the mind, putting us into our open, creative right brain in storytelling to get out of our own way, right? And he uses this really amazing analogy of peanut butter chocolate cookies and cookie dough to help us re-remember who we truly are. And that is, we are all divine sparks of God, every single one of us, unique and beautiful and perfect in our own way. And it's beautiful because this is God, source creator, creating and expanding and experiencing through us in all of our different unique iterations. So this is going to help you never compare yourself to anyone again. You can look for inspiration in what you see that you enjoy as aspects and characteristics and achievements in other souls, but not from a place of jealousy, lack, envy, scarcity. No, we're burning that boat. That's gone. That beggar mentality it's gone now. Okay, we're back to our true abundance of who we really are. Back, stepping into our power. And he uses this analogy to help illustrate this. And I heard it again yesterday, but somehow it just, it landed perfectly for me. And I'm like, I'm going to come on and share this. When you get this, when you really get it, it will change so much for you in the most beautiful way. So he loves chocolate peanut butter cookies. I'm not a huge sweet tooth, but do you like cookies? And he loves this analogy of making them. And he's got the batter going in a bowl, chocolate chips, peanut butter, all the flour, sugar, cream. He likes coconut in there. So he talks about, maybe there's some different types of chocolate chips, what he's putting into this batter. And in this batter, it's a representation of all of us, at source, before we incarnate and we take on these physically focused meat suits in our individuation as divine sparks of God. So let's imagine we are all that batter. We are all one with God, source, creator, whatever you want to call higher power. So we're all that batter before we incarnate and to come into individuated aspects of source, to come here for the adventure of re-remembering who we truly are and expansion and experience. That's what we desire to do. That's what God desires itself to experience. So we're all in that gorgeous, delicious batter. Then on the cookie sheet, starts dropping as an example, each little ball of dough or a round, dollop here, here, here. Okay, so they're going into the oven. And that is an example of us. So we are that little round now cookie dough ball getting ready to bake in the oven. And now we start becoming self-realized and sentient, and we're looking at each other as little balls of cookie dough, and we're like, why, that one has more chocolate chips. Why does that one have more chocolate chips than me? That one has more coconut. This one is very small. That one's really plump. Or why does that one have this and I don't have that? They're, each little ball cannot be the same. They're all unique divine sparks of God. But somehow, in our duality, we start comparing ourselves to others. Get it? Like every cookie in the making is perfect, and it was just in that batter, right? It just left that batter. It was all perfect, right? And now, use this as an analogy. He does it much better than I am. And now in the analogy of comparison, we're starting to look at each other and say, you're bigger, you're small, you're fatter, you've got more coconut or more, this or that. And remembering that it is all perfect, and each soul is perfect in their uniqueness, like a cookie or a snowflake or whatever the case may be. I heard that yesterday, but I really heard it at a soul level, and I was like, why would you ever want to compare yourself to anyone? Every soul is unique, and for the purpose of being unique, a unique expression of God. And so when you get that, that one just really marinated with me. It's an impossibility to judge, because all judgment is self-judgment, or to compare. And it just makes you want to appreciate and love yourself even more. Perfect, just the way we are in our own uniqueness. Whatever that looks like is beautiful, is amazing. And this is a message I desire to get more and more out into the world, because people will feel so much more peace and self-love and appreciation for themselves, thereby for others. Isn't that exciting? Such an exciting. This is how we create heaven on earth, new earth, is that we all have to, or get to, master our own energy first. And that's why I love this topic, this series so much, is because we're getting really good at identifying our holes in the boat, right? Our soft spots, our sore spots. Are you comparing yourself to others? That's why I said I have solved this by refocusing all of that energy on myself, and also being completely at peace and loving myself and others for our own unique journeys. They're all going to be different, and that's the point. Isn't that great? You can just allow everyone to be, and you'll have so much peace and acceptance for yourself. And reclaim all that lost energy that comes from comparing, envy, jealousy, scarcity, lack, beggar mentality, because you have so much appreciation, love, and knowingness of who you truly are. I love these topics. You guys are quiet today. Cheers. Right now I'm drinking it's a peach lassi instead of a mango lassi. I'm addicted. And I got some extra protein powder in there. I have a lot of tons of peaches everywhere here. So I made that instead of a mango lassi, which I'm addicted to, and I'm going to be eating some of my newly cooked Indian food. Oh, what did I make? I made butter chicken, which is amazing. I made palak paneer. Incredible. From scratch, too. Indian food, if you do it from scratch, which I am teaching myself, all of these different regions around the country of India, it takes some work. It's effort, and I like it. I like the challenge, and I love the house smelling like an Indian restaurant when you walk in. So nothing like a spicy, savory dish like butter chicken. Are you a butter chicken curry fan? I could eat curry every single day. I love it that much. I just love it. More on India coming soon. I've got some really cool videos coming out today, so stay tuned for that. for my fellow visionaries. Mango lassi, when you got a nice hot spicy dish, this is like the perfect thing to wash it down with. And because there's extra protein, just talking to my business partner yesterday, we've been packing on more muscle, getting more protein into our diets, like really feeling absolutely high energy, vibration, clear, strong, more vigor and vitality. You know, I'm 48 going on 49. She's turning 52 soon. We feel like we are aging backwards. We are reversing our epigenetic age right now, and we're going to be talking more about that soon. People want to know, how do they do that? How do I reverse my age naturally and holistically in a way that's harmonious in my life? And we are teaching people how to do this every single day. We have so much proof. So we have more energy now. That's why I'm taking more protein, probably more testosterone naturally too. Another reason we don't have any problems with hormones. So my heart goes out to any woman that's going through that. Check in with us. We can share some of our solutions if you're in that stage and suffering with hormonal imbalance, how to solve it naturally. So we have good news for you. Good news. And we are living examples that you don't have to take anything unnatural or just spend a bunch of money, you know. It's actually quite simple. So I want to say to the ladies out there, all the fellas that have ladies with hormonal imbalances and problems and suffering, reach out to us. We have some protocols and solutions for you right now. And we are living proof that it works. How is it that we're getting more energy, vigor, stamina, vitality, slimming down instead of getting bloated and weight gain? And we're in that exact age group of perimenopausal and menopause. Hi Raju, welcome. How are you? Say hi, friends. This is another big topic that I'm going to be addressing in some other protocols and video series as well. So got a little off topic because I was excited to drink my mango or peach lassi. It's so good. If you want the recipe, let me know. And in addition to that, just excited for everything that's happening right now. As I said, 2025 is the year I've deemed unceasing tsunami of awesomeness. That's what it's been, and it will continue to be. Jump on that bandwagon, that train with me, because we are quantum jumping, my fellow souls, into higher and better versions of self. And the more we live this example publicly out loud, the more, the more the merrier. That's how it is. A lot of souls are like consciously, subconsciously like, hot damn, Amy, I want that too. I want that kind of energy and health, natural health and vitality and clarity and certainty in my own life. I want to reclaim all my energy that I've been, whoa. We've got some wasps out here. All right, so that's going to be my sign to conclude our beautiful live stream. Share this live stream privately, publicly, share it with someone that needs to hear it today. These are such relatable topics and themes right now because we're all going through it. It's exciting to see the growth and the transformation that's occurring. Don't you think? It's exciting. It warms my heart, and that's why we came here. So we're living on purpose, on mission, and we're all helping each other do it together. So thanks, friends. Share this live stream. Much love to you. Mwah! And I will see you on the next video.